Hello everybody and welcome back to a week in review at Grimsmo Knives. I'm John.
Angelo.
And we got a lot of juicy topics to dive into today. We'll try to keep it a little bit shorter. We got a lot going on. It's a 4-day week for us, Easter and everything. And so let's jump right in.
Yeah. So,
challenges and opportunities. How was the week?
So this week was good, pretty busy. We set up a new grinding wheel on the grinder.
On the Okamoto surface grinder?
Yeah, it's a great grinder. So we go through about 2 to 3 wheels a year.
Okay. They're like 14-inch.
14-inch wheels. They're big wheels.
Yeah.
We've ground several, we've meters of distance in Y. It's Y that way, Z that way.
Yeah.
So we've experimented with a bunch of different wheels to avoid any gashing. We used some recommendations from people. Somebody did some experiments on it. On hard blades, we're doing soft, so we had to adjust. Went to a pretty friable wheel that breaks down nicely, that doesn't gives us really good surface finishes. We have filtering, everything in there. So this time we took apart the guard. I think we got some footage of that of us balancing it and putting it together and stuff. Teaching Jeff how to do that. He's got a lot of grinding experience, but on different grinders.
Right.
So as you know, like I say, it's like flying a plane. You can be the best pilot in the world. As soon as you go to a new aircraft, you're going to need to learn it. Same with machines, with everything. You're going to need to learn the idiosyncrasies, the controller, what does what. So he's training up on it. It's been a good opportunity.
Good.
We've used the week to kind of dial in the pens for the tube drilling. So improve that process a little bit. And we were starting the programming for the Mini. There's a few differences with the way it's made, so we might change a few things up to make it.
Like when Pierre made our test minis, he kind of just made them.
Yeah.
He kind of hacked it.
Yep.
But so you're creating an actual program to run it.
Yeah, so we'll be able to run them. So we'll dial in a few things there, and so within 2 weeks or so, we should have some
Minis
kits
are
going
coming.
out. So kits, individual tubes as a set or as an upgrade option for people, and then selling it on its own. Saw some comments to do a DLC mini. I mean, that's
obviously
a given.
Mine's half DLC.
Yes, love it. It's beautiful.
Love it, right?
Yep. Again, use these all the time. It just fits in the coin pocket, so it's
I love it.
Ends up being something I carry around a lot more. So we did that. I know you've been digging into the acid etch.
Yes,
a lot,
acid etching for Damasteel. So I want, going into the next phase of our company, I want to do a lot more Damasteel because I think it's beautiful, it's fun. We haven't done it in a long time. And I'm just coming up for air from my deep dive into chemistry.
Yep.
And I think about it like that. I'm like, wow, I went deep on that one. I watched everything on YouTube and read all these technical documents. It was fun. So I've ordered all the stuff. It's starting to come in now. So we're starting to get all the tools and the beakers and the hot plates and the stir bars and all that stuff. It's going to be really fun. All of which to help Eric and their team etch easier, faster, more consistent, hold an exact temperature, safer for sure, and to be able to dispose of these chemicals safely and economically and all that stuff. Because before it's just, we didn't have a good system, now we will. I'm really excited for that.
And with doing more of that in an organization like this, we're monitored more by the government. Our disposal is monitored, our safety is monitored.
Absolutely. You know what Mike at Milterra was saying? The city actually puts a sock in their drain pipe that absorbs junk, and then they pull it out every year. The city does, and they measure it.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, that's in a big company. You can't just, it's not just some garage at home.
Yeah, exactly. So it's awesome that you're digging into that. And
it's fun. It's been really fun. So Damasteel is a amazingly beautiful material. We'll get Ryan to put some close-ups here. But it does add some extra challenges for our otherwise smooth process, right? Like normally we get our blades water jet cut from an outside source. One of the only operations we have done outside this shop. Saves us a lot of time and hassle and things like that. With Damasteel, we have to blanket out ourselves, which adds, I don't want to complain, but it's another setup that we're not used to doing. Yeah. And it halts us a little bit. You got to nest them and figure out how many you do. And for the volume that we do every day, there's not always a free machine to just throw it on and do it. So anyway, it's super fun. More Damasteel coming, Rask, Norseman, Integral, etc.
Yeah. And other materials, Timascus?
Other materials. So Timascus is the titanium version of a stainless steel Damascus. So this is 2 or 3 different types of titanium that are forge welded together, so like heated, forged, and then when heat anodized, you get these silly, amazing colors.
Yep.
Like just absolutely stunning. So just yesterday, I've had these blanks of Timascus sitting on my desk for a long time now. And I made the insides, so it's a good first step.
Yep, first step.
So this will be a Norseman. Insides are done. Went for a new adaptive clearing toolpath on the inside because Timascus handles don't get tumbled. They don't get, what else do we do? They're not going to be blasted or whatever, so the inside finish is going to be as good as it is. So I went for that toolpath. I'm fairly happy with it.
Looks cool.
It looks really cool. In the future, we'll play with different finishes on the inside, but this is the Rubik's pattern. And once we put it on the Mori in the next couple days, machine the top side. This one's going to be starburst, and it's also going to have a Damasteel blade. So it's going to be like, what they call a full dress knife in the knife industry.
And this material has a direction, right?
Yes. So Timascus has this is the cobblestone on one side and nebula on the other side, and they look completely different. So what's interesting is as a manufacturer, when you lay out your handles to make them, you have to lay them out the right way. Otherwise, you're going to have one handle right and one handle the other way. And you're like, these don't match at all.
So in the future, if we were to try an integral...
Yes, integral material, and Sky just told me this, I didn't know. Imagine a thick piece of Timascus where your integral, it's going to look one way on the other side and different on the other.
Yep.
So apparently Alpha can make an integral Timascus that's the same on both sides. So I still have to ask them. It's on my list to do.
It'll be cool and rare.
And super rare. I'm not going to make a lot of them, but it's going to be so sick.
Yeah.
So
expensive piece of material.
We're playing. We're playing.
Awesome. So yeah, MagnaCut's in process.
Yes.
We're slowly trickling that through.
So MagnaCut Norseman is what's happening next.
Yes.
Yep.
MagnaCut Norseman.
It's exciting.
Which is exciting. We're happy with it. Sky's been dialing in the heat treat, trying to get into that 62 to 63, around 63 RC range.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see a few of those trickle through. We have about 100 in flow, and see when we move those in.
Sounds good. Yep. And we still have lots of RWL blades flowing through as well, so there'll be a mix of both.
Yep.
And we'll have fun. MagnaCut's been different, a little bit weird, right?
Yeah, the grinding's a slight difference, and even soft, I'm seeing about 20 millionths difference between the two different steels on the grinder, and you're seeing a slight difference just to see how they grind differently.
Really?
And so we've seen it in the milling, and it kind of surprised me a little bit being in the soft state, because you don't have carbides yet, but just having different elements in there might affect it differently. So it is what it is, and it's interesting to see. We take those notes, we dial it in, and make sure everything's super tight. Because especially on rasp, everything is a pretty tight tolerance. And rasps that an integral too, because the engraving and everything is on that spine, and the alignment and everything is so crucial. Yeah. Those parts come out in the tenths.
Yeah.
We're grinding them before heat treatment, plus or minus 1/10. And then by the end of it, you're talking like, we're trying to work in the millions there.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
It's good.
So yeah, product updates. Where are we with the integral?
Integral, haven't made a lot of progress this week, but I made some. So next big challenge is working on the stop pins. I spent a lot of time thinking about it. It's not going to be that hard to do. I just haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But my next task, I figure I can design, make the soft jaws, program it within like 2 to 3 hours. And I'm kind of waiting for that chunk to show up, that chunk of time.
Yep.
But that'll be the next big thing. Once I have that, then I can dial in, the proper feel, the tolerance, which brought up one of the questions was, why do we use 2 stop pins? And I do want to make a separate breakout video that fully explains it. But long story short, one stop pin controls the closed position and the other stop pin controls the open position. And imagine if the stop pin's a little bit bigger, your blade's not going to open up as much. And this lets us fine tune the lockup and the closed position, which affects your detent, the amount of too soft or too crisp. It goes there. And separating them into the two lets us isolate lockup and detent as 2 completely separate things.
Yep.
And I think Eric reminded me just the other day, he's like, yeah, remember when I came up with that idea? I thought it was my idea, but it might have been his.
That's fine. You could find it in a video probably.
Yeah, probably. From 2014, 15, something like that. So, and at the time, I don't think anybody else had been doing 2 stop pins. It's been amazing for us. We have to make twice as many pins, but
it's totally worth it.
It's totally worth it. And also our pins, we can make, the shoulders are one size, but we can make it smaller or bigger. So we have a whole range, probably a dozen or 2 dozen different sizes of diameters in 1 thou increments. So that when the guys are putting the knife together, they can be like, it needs a little bit more lockup, pull out a pin, put the smaller one in, and
it dials it in.
The blade goes up higher. So it allows us to fine tune and dial these knives very, very well.
Also, if a customer out there, like we had one Norseman where I don't know if it was flipped a billion times or generally abused, but it started to develop a little bit of slop. We track those pin sizes. Every knife that goes out is documented, so we can literally just send out pins and have that corrected versus bringing it in.
Yep, it's not something we want to do a lot of, because ideally the knife doesn't really wear in. Like rare. We break it in ahead of time so that it shouldn't need different pins for the life of the knife.
Yep.
But we can if we need to.
Yep, exactly. Awesome.
But yeah.
So yeah, that's Integral Updates. You're designing the clip right now.
Yeah, the clip will be a big project.
Yeah.
I want to do like a full knife making Tuesday on the clip, from the design, and I'm kind of, I told you, like I'm waiting to design it because I want to track the whole process.
Yep.
So I have theoretically, like I know how it's going to mount. It's going to clip in there and be like a pressure fit, removable thing. But yep.
So you're in the engineering development side of things right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and I'm picking your brain. I'm picking Jeff's brain.
Yeah.
What machine does which product go on?
Yeah, we're putting the buttons on the Swiss next week probably to make a few more prototypes.
I actually bought some CBN inserts for turning the dome of the button on the Swiss, which should leave a wicked finish.
Yep, sharp finish.
Yep.
Nice.
We Sky tumbled these buttons. I don't think I talked about that last week.
Last week we did.
We did?
Yep.
The tumbling of the buttons?
I believe so.
Okay. It was in the tumbler for 22 hours or something. So we need a different process for that. That's not sustainable. But yeah, basically stop pins, improve the button. Blade bevels will be next. If you don't know it, this one has holes because there's no bevel on it yet. It's just a solid flat blade, but the holes make the weight balance theoretically in CAM or in CAD exactly what it would be on a finished blade. So it lets us like play and feel and kind of see. So I've got some listeners that didn't get the memo.
It's the world's fanciest cheese knife.
Yeah.
We're going to send it to Pierre when we're done with it.
There you go.
Pierre, that's yours.
You wish.
Awesome.
But yeah, Integral making good progress.
Good to hear. We have some updates with cases.
Cases, so
we never really dug into this topic.
We've been avoiding it because it's such a big topic to talk about. So grab one, start
talking.
talking.
Let's grab a case. So as you guys know, we use NANUK cases. We had this, 2 years ago, we started developing this. We used to ship the pens were done in wood cases for a long time since I started here in 2018. And various iterations of the case, we had a local maker, Matt, making them for us. And as that grew, they're great cases, they look pretty, but the sustainability of that product was, we were at its limit, the sustainability in terms of production.
Yeah.
We had some issues where it's a wood product, it's wood.
Wood is weird. Yeah, I'm a metal worker, not a woodworker.
Yeah, we'd ship it to Australia and it'd swell a little bit and they'd have,
they crack.
It worked for the time being.
There were too many challenges to continue making them out of wood.
And the scrap rate was unsustainable. Like if you saw that, it was, it hurt a little bit to see that kind of material being wasted. So
they were beautiful though.
Yes. So
if you have one,
if you have one, especially one of the older ones, they're special.
Yeah, exactly.
Leading into the special stopgap. So we had the NANUK cases kind of on the go. We were back.
It was like, how long did it take to develop?
A long time.
Like
it was
year.
them developing it. Like we didn't sit here every day, but there was meetings, recurring meetings weekly, trying to get a company of this size, of this magnitude to work with, a smaller company like us. So the first time a company's done this, we wanted a sustainable, multi-use, long-lasting, non-disposable packaging products that customers could take and utilize and use for more than just what we send it in.
Yep.
So we looked at all these different companies, we won't name them all, but we looked around the world. And it just turns out the best case maker is literally in our backyard up in Quebec. So we reached out to them and they were amazing. If you guys know NANUK, they make probably the best hard cases on the planet for various camera gear, drones, firearms, etc. So we started the collaboration together and to bring this product in. So we
super cool,
extremely cool. So we did the Rich Light cases as a sort of a stopgap for a few months to kind of get some cases flowing while we were waiting for this to be done. You came up with a really cool design. It involved 3D printed parts,
compliant mechanisms, acrylic.
It
was an entire product in and of itself. The amount of hours I spent on that.
Yeah.
I have PTSD of it. It's like that dumb project.
Yes. And it was like the material would explode in the machine
so Rich Light is laminated paper, like cardboard kind of, but paper and epoxy layered, so it's sustainable because it's made of recycled paper. But A lot of epoxy in it, very dense, very hard product. I could not believe how abrasive that is on the cutting tool.
Destroyed cutting tools.
Like you'd make a whole case and the edge of the tool was just blunt. And I'm like, titanium doesn't do this.
Yeah.
Hardened steel doesn't do this. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, we're not geared towards that type of manufacturing.
It's
like, there's
crazy.
probably companies out there that are dialed with their routers.
Right. Even
you know?
carbon fiber doesn't wear tools that fast.
Yeah,
It's crazy. So, and the amount of swarf and chips and dust. And
yeah, one box about this big made about, you know, a small bag.
Making that product in the Speedo is actually the reason I invented that chip conveyor.
Yeah.
Well, the push to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, Richley was cool, but it had a limited shelf life.
Yeah.
And then we were very glad to stop making them. I wish it was easier because they're beautiful and they were fun.
So if you have one, it's a special case.
But yeah, like you said, it's a stopgap. We did that for 3 months, 6 months, something like that, until these were finally in, we got our first shipment of 1,000.
Yeah, we wanted a made in Canada, helped develop by us, Canadian company, because we want to keep as much as we can, in this country.
Get a close-up of the inside here. It says NANUK X Grimsmo, designed and made in Canada.
Yep.
We were part of that development process. We got our logo in the top. Like, making a mold is no big deal. It's no easy feat.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, what, $100,000 to make like a big mold?
Yeah.
And nobody takes it lightly. So to get our logo molded into it, along with their run, like they do sell this case on their website.
So we helped them develop this case to go into their production system. So
yeah,
now
they usually make like bigger cases.
Yes, and they had some minis, but they were made overseas, and we kind of were part of the impetus to try to get them to bring it back into North American manufacturing. So that's crucial for us. So these are made in Canada. We wanted them here, brought them here. We wanted essentially a mini version of their bigger cases that we have. We've got a bunch of their cases around. We wanted posts inside so that you can. We've got a lot of DIY stuff that we've been working on. When you buy one directly from the NANUK, it's a ABS material. This is polypropylene.
Okay.
And these have posts which allow us to kind of mount different things inside.
The ones they sell do not have posts.
No, that was something that we asked for, and we'll get into that in a second. So colors was something. We're not.
Yeah, when you have the option, it's like, well, what do you want? I was like, okay, we'll start with black. So we started with black ABS was the first run, and then we went to polypropylene, which has this like velvety, beautiful finish. It feels really good.
It's what they make their larger cases out of, and it's a more durable material. It's a bit more flexible.
Yeah.
But it's a tougher material, and it allows us to play with color because it's I believe a liquid, so they're injecting with dye, and we're able to get pretty much almost all the colors under the rainbow, almost all. But that allowed us to start playing with colors a little bit, and we wanted to bring a spice of Canadiana into the first range of colors. So we did the blue.
Yeah. So the blue was our first, and the internal name for it is Like a Nice Blue.
Like a Nice Blue.
Because we were all standing out in the meeting. I was wearing my blue jacket, my Autodesk jacket, and Angelo's like this blue, but a nice blue. And I was like, come on, Jerk.
But Like a Nice Blue.
Yeah, so it became Like a Nice Blue. However, officially, you came up with the name Kananaskis Blue, Canadian Mountain Range.
Yep, it's beautiful out there.
And I like that too.
Yep, Kananaskis Blue. We went to the green, which is a rich green, like we call it Algonquin green. Again, Canadiana. And then we're moving into the next color will be a red. So we've been playing, we don't have it here. We're trying to play with a few different reds to get that oxblood red. We might call it bear blood red or something. But we want
moose blood.
Moose blood red, something like very dark and rich.
Yeah.
And then we have some other colors, but we want to play. It'd be cool to see what you guys like.
Yeah.
If you guys have any favorite colors or a color you'd like to see the cases in, then please post it in the comments. We'll look through them if maybe we pick one.
If anything pops.
Yeah.
I think orange is for sure in the future.
Yeah, we'll do a burnt orange.
And like every color you're choosing is unique. It's not like bright red. It's like it's got to look
good.
It's got to look rich. It's got to have this, je ne sais quoi about it.
Yep. Because it's a special product. It's rare that companies get to do this, so we wanted it to be special. So we put these posts inside like this
for future uses.
Yeah.
And
so now we started playing with it. So the idea is Pierre, before he left, developed the plugs for these. I won't stick this in too far. So what this will allow us to do is to basically bring these two files onto our website. So when we sell that, you can download this, and this is going to allow you to give you the exact internal dimensions, which will allow you to then start to play and make a variety of things. So we started making mini tackle boxes that'll fit inside here, perfect for holding different hardware. We gave one to our friends at Speed Academy to hold fuses and stuff for their cars. We gave one to our friend out west who's a fly fisher, and we'll post some of her photos. She's using it for the flies out fishing. So we wanted this to be something that goes beyond the holding your case, like holding your knife. It should be a pen case, a tackle box, for your fuses. I've got a one for one of our LoRa communication devices. We used one for one of the electronic boxes.
Yeah, I cut one in half and I made a spectrometer from it.
Yep.
I haven't finished that project yet. Actually, it works, but...
So yeah, stuff like that. So
and you know what I want, especially when the red one comes out? I want a mini first aid kit, Steven.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Just to kind of give you guys
it's fun.
Stuff to play with. It's not, you know, we're not charging for this. It's just something to create more value in the package, because one of the questions like sustainability in packaging, everybody goes to recyclable materials. Cool, you get it, you threw it out. Does it really get recycled? Who knows?
Yeah, and we have to protect our product with something.
Yep.
Either we do a throwable thing or a recyclable thing, but to be able to sell and have a standardized packaging, so all our knives and pens ship in the same case. We rotate through colors as we have them.
Yep.
And then the goal, very shortly-ish, is to start selling these on the side as a, you know, its own product, maybe with foam that we make, maybe a knife pen combo foam that you guys can buy, or maybe just a case by itself, and you do whatever you want with it.
Yep, download this with it and then play it. Be really curious to see what people come up with.
Yeah, I think people will come up with their own things that we can't even come up with.
Exactly.
We can't even think about.
You guys are creative. We've seen what some of you guys can do, and that's why we created this, was to have fun. So hopefully you guys like it.
And there's just it's such a nice case,
yeah,
waterproof.
Yeah. Busy week for us, pretty short. We'll keep it short. A lot more next week. Maybe we'll bring somebody in to chat with.
We should.
Is there somebody you guys want to meet or see on this show? Yeah, let us know. We're having fun doing this. It's
I like it.
We got to kind of take a step back, as you can hear. Like, this is the shop. There's a lot going on. There were some comments about noise. It's hard to find the time to do it, even the space to do it. We feel like this is kind of our, you know, this is our life. So this is us.
Yeah.
You know.
I like it.
Awesome.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Later, guys. Bye.
Take care.